Hello, welcome to Islands Played. I haven't been on here for a while and I decided to go on and come out with a big bang. I'm going to do a Let's Talk, of course, and we're doing Witches of Eastwick movie review. This movie is very, very old, so I'm going to be doing a bunch of spoilers, play by play, get you guys in the mood, give you something to listen to. I really hope you watch this movie by now. It's like made in the 80s, so I shouldn't see nobody complaining about spoilers. But anyway, here we go. So we're gonna start off with the cast. We have Jack Nicholson, who plays Daryl Van Horn. We have Michelle Pfeiffer, who plays Sookie. We have Susan Sharon, who plays Janet or Jane. You have Cher, who plays Alexandria, and we have Veronica, who plays Felicia. This is a beautiful cast. I think they really did really well with this movie. It is like one of them timeless movies when you think about witches, some other messaging there, and also Halloween, right? It's perfect for that. So the main elements of this movie is a little bit of lacy activities, adult lacy activities, a beautiful mansion, 3 witches, I really think there's 4, and a devil, if you will, love type, archetype man, real dark archetype love man, mystery. So, it's a perfect a recipe for a great Halloween horror comedy love thing going on here. And who doesn't love that? It's a good time. Anyway, this movie starts out with introducing you to the 3 women and their life in Eastwick, a small town. Things are going kind of slow. People have small things going on in their life, which amount to bigger things on the grand scheme of things anyway. But it's a perfect town. Everybody knows each other. There's a little gossip that everybody knows about the specific people who live in the town or whatever. But for the most part, it's a small, nice, friendly, home-oriented or family-oriented town. Sorry, I'm going through my notes. So if you see me looking down, that's why I'm looking, because I had to break it down, so I could convey it to you anyway. So we start out with showing us Alexandria, how she is a sculpt or a clay artist, where she's making these goddesses and she sells it at the local town store. And her husband has passed away. Jane is a teacher who is recently divorced. She has no kids. And Sookie is a journalist who is very fertile, who has a bunch of kids. Husband left her, so she's making zucchini jelly for the kids' lunch. So everybody kind of starts out where there is a ceremony being held at the school, and the principal is giving a long speech that nobody cares about. Nobody wants to be here. It's going on way too long. I don't really even know what the ceremony was about. It was supposed to be for the kids, because it turned out to just be for the principal and him running his mouth. And everybody was thinking at the same time, we really would like to get out of there. And Alexandria, Jane, and Sookie both were like, what if it just rains? Or I believe that's what they thought. They were thinking, we want to get the hell up out of here. It started raining. And so everybody got an excuse to dip. So we jump to the next scene where they start talking about their lives and how it basically landed to them basically having no husband and then having to be together doing boring things like sewing, which I would never say sewing is boring. macrame, cooking, exotic foods, or whatever. They want to be out with some man doing some extravaganza things. They want to be sitting here every night, which I understand. We want some excitement in our lives, okay? I'm tired of just dealing with the kids, or in Jane's case, no kids. And she said that, Jane's will actually kind of like hanging out. Like, Jane's, for the most part, she's more easygoing. She just wants somebody to love her, somebody to spend her time with for the most part. Why we can't hang out? What's going on? Y'all got a problem with this? She just goes with the flow. Anyway, they also started talking about the principal of the school and how he's a creeper and how he don't know how to keep his hands to himself. And they surprised that, I guess, her husband or his wife is even sexually satisfied with him because he's such a creep. They were all contemplating that or whatever have you. So I left off where basically they started to want to dream or fantasize someone new coming into town that's interesting, that would spark up some excitement in their life. And they say that they wanted someone who is not the stereotypical man, someone they could listen to, someone who would roll in on a big black horse, which is, I'm pretty sure, was in the window for something. Someone who is dark. That he has to be somewhat charismatic, a dark prince, and behold, some man pops into town, someone with real dark, real, mysterious, real charismatic, real interesting, just pops up real rich, because he buys the mansion, the local mansion in town. Okay, so as soon as this man comes rolling into town like a storm, honey, Suki, we find out the first place where we find out, the first scene where we find out somebody moved into the local mansion is at Suki's job. She works, I believe, at the journalist or the news department down at the in town, and her boss's wife, Felicia, who I think is the fourth. If there's 3 witches, normally there's like 4 of them. I think it's actually Felicia. Anyway, Suki's on the phone talking about how some new mysterious rich man that moved into the local mansion. Felicia walks in, bringing lunch to her husband. And she hears that somebody done bought that house. And Felicia drops herself like, somebody moved in to the local mansion. Who moved into the mansion? What? Dropping stuff all over the floor, scaring Suki, and for whatever reason, when I guess, we already said his name, but when Daryl moves in, nobody can remember his name. Nobody can remember who, what, when, and why in regards to the name of the person who moved in. That's very interesting, and everybody's curious on who this man is. And I wanted to put a dot right there. Why is it, when you think about it, when you really think about it, even though the lady kind of lost her mind, Felicia is the only one who clocked tea. But she went crazy when she clocked tea. And so, after we find out someone moved in to town, Alexandria goes into town to her local store where she sells her art products. And the lady there who runs the store is like, somebody came and bought all of your stuff. Really? I gotta restock everything. So yeah, because somebody came, a real handsome man who had made me have some feelings and thoughts in places I hadn't had it before since, I was a young warthog. So I'm trying to figure out who this man is, because he's real charismatic, he's real cute, real dark. I mean, he's just everything. And Alexander's like, okay, what is his name? And Lee's like, I don't know. It's something boring, but he cute. Alexander's like, oh, hi girl. Well, I'll come and restock my stuff for you, whatever have you. Moving to the music scene. Okay, so Jane is, I guess, in the town city hall, performing, because music is her art, it's her love language, it's how she expresses herself, it's her form of creativity. And this man is in the back snoring loud as I don't know what at the show. Snoring as loud as I don't know what. The most rudest thing I ever seen. And you know what else T.I. clocked? Also, if you go back and look at the scene, Sookie and Alexandria was smiling like, who is he? The only person annoyed and was feeling disrespected by the disrespect of him snoring was Felicia. The show's over and he come running down the hall. Like he was listening the whole time. He was just drawn in. He was just so impressed. Girl. And Jane just got all moist. Like, he loved it. Anyway, after the show, Alexandria and Sookie is talking about how, I guess, the new man who moved into the mansion, which is Daryl, wanted Sookie to interview him. And Alexandria's like, why he wants you to interview him? And Sookie's like, man, I can do it. What do you mean, why he want me to do it? It's my job, man. What the hell are you talking about? Felicia is talking to her husband about, what is this man's name again? Daryl's like, I don't know. Sookie is talking to Jane and Alexandria about what his name is, because everybody's just like, okay, what's his name again? Because he's really making a serious appearance in town, like a very, big appearance. I want to say that, just very bold. So who is he? And the girls start to kind of like spell out his name, and they spell it out. And, oh, Daryl Van Horn. Oh, did I call him Daryl Vanguard at the beginning? Anyway, Daryl. And as soon as his name is said all through the room, I believe it was Sookie's pearls broke. And Felicia was saying, what the hell kind of name is that? Like, who the fuck is that? I'm not anybody impressed by that. And the pearls fall, Sookie's pearls fall and roll down the hallway to where Felicia is, and she just happened to be standing by the stairs. And that lady took a tumble and a fumble and rumbled her leg. And she's looking at her like, oh honey, I need to go to the hospital. Poor Felicia. Poor baby, So the next scene, because this man is just so interesting. I forgot to say that Daryl made sure to send Jane some flowers, and that's the reason why they started to figure out like D, because there was D on the flowers. That's what sparked their like interest. Like, wait, D? What is that for? What is his name? Anyway, that's what led to Felicia's leg being broken. Anyway, so Alexandria is just so enamored, by this man. Very, very intrigued by this man, and she just gotta know what's going on with him. And she's writing the letter D in some sand or whatever, because she's just very fixated on him. So she ended up walking down there to his house, riding a bike down there to his house. And he just so happened to be there talking about pissing on birds, And she like, it's a little late in the season. She's trying to play a little hard to get. And he said, oh, okay, girl, well, you want to have lunch? And she's like, sure. He ended up running his mouth too much, talking too much, having a little bit of feminist rhetoric, a little sarcastic, called her a little bit of a dumb twitch. And then somehow they lead up to going to his house, whatever, in his bedroom, where he shows the big bed and it was supposedly owned by the Borgias. And he's like, so you getting in it? And she said, what? And she read this man for the filth, which I love. She read this man for the filth. She called him boring, stupid, talk too much, loud, most unimportant, uninteresting person she ever met in her life. And she still gave him the panties. That's the way it go. That's how it go. Anyway, Daryl mentions before they end up in a room that, after a woman gets divorced, she blooms, and she's very ripe for him. That's what he likes. That's what strikes his interest. And I believe that is the reason why potentially he wasn't feeling Felicia and Felicia wasn't feeling him, because she was married. She wasn't interested. She wasn't intrigued. The other three are intrigued because they don't have, anything, and they're not involved in anything. They're not looking for anything. They're not involved in it for anything. They are looking for something. They're looking for something to be connected to in a romantic way. Felicia is not. So when she hears him, she's like, oh, something don't feel right with him. I don't know what it is, but something with him ain't right. That's just my little sidebar there, So, speaking of Felicia, next scene is she is in the hospital. The husband is feeding her Jello or oatmeal, whatever. And this woman talking like she got Alzheimer's. She talking that man crazy. She talking wild to this man. She called him spineless, like that son of a bitch in the house. She is losing her mind, and her poor husband's like, what's wrong with my wife? Why is she talking to me like this? And the nurse was like, oh, it's the bone marrow going to her head. Don't worry about it. Just dismiss all the crazy shit that she's saying. Don't listen to her. Just stand by your wife. So next, we are at Jane's house. He already knocked Alexandria's boots. It's Jane's turn. Okay? And he was able to just walk into her home, show up with an instrument. She's, of course, elated to have any kind of company, especially the mystery rich man in town, honey. And he talks real, extravaganza to her, very charismatic, gives her some musical inspiration to let loose, I guess, not be so stiff or whatever in regards to her music. And he was able to enthrall her and knock her boots too. A knock. Okay? So, Alexandria and Sookie is riding a bike, and Alexandria's like, you're gonna love him! Bunk all the stuff that she called him before he knocked her boots. You're gonna love him. He's so amazing. I can't wait for you to meet him. Walk right on into his house again. And Jane is there real comfortable. She's no longer wearing them boring clothing anymore. Miss Ma'am is showing meat. Okay? And she looks just so relaxed, wearing sunglasses, bathing in the sun. And Alexandria walked up on her like, what are you doing here? Are we supposed to invite you? What you doing here already? And Jane like, is you here to do the plumbing? What are you doing here? So, they got a little bit of an attitude, a little bit of tension going on there, which leads to the tennis court. And they start, playing tennis all aggressively, and somehow the tension changes to a floating ball, and they no longer are mad anymore about the fact that they might be sharing a man. And it's very clear that Daryl may want Sookie now. So, he lined them up, he's having his way one at a time anyway. They're all having fun or whatever have you. Seems pretty nice, at his house. I don't know where Sookie's kids are because she got a lot, I don't know, I don't know if she got family, babysitter or what, but she ain't with the kids. She with Daryl in the pool. And she let him know that she's a bit of a free thinker and she needs a man that's a free thinker. And he also needs to know that she fur. That's what he needs to know. And he said, and I ain't mad about it. I don't care nothing about it. Is you going or not? And she went, honey. Daryl is one smooth operator, tell you that one. God dang it. He get what he want, how he want, and when he want it. It seems as if they are living a very, very happily ever after life. They're enjoying themselves. They playing in balloons and stuff. Felicia, Sookie's kids is all running through the house and stuff, and they are all having fun. They start floating and stuff through the house or whatever. They didn't realize they laugh. They float through the house and everything. Things are going pretty good until, okay, I'm giving you a play-by-play, but not like a whole play-by-play, okay? I hope you've gotten this by now, because you should watch it. Felicia finally gets out of the hospital, and she's in church. And she is just like having this obsessive feeling in regards to Daryl. Hear me out, okay? This is my commentary in this part here, okay? This is another reason why I think Felicia is the fourth. No other women are so obsessive or drawn to Daryl other than, I guess, a specific type of woman. Alexandra was drawn to him and she couldn't help herself. Sookie was, and so was Jane. And Felicia is also, which is why she kind of like goes crazy. That's what I'm assuming. But she doesn't want him like that because she is in love and completely like embinded into her husband. So she, instead of being like attracted and wanting him, it's going the other way. And now she in the church, losing her ever-loving goddamn mind, talking real wild. Okay, talking about dildos and a bunch of other stuff that you shouldn't be saying in the church, ma'am. What you saying all this stuff in the church for? Over this man. And so she basically going around town spreading a bunch of craziness in regards to that house. And got people talking to Jane sideways and backwards in the store. Because she went to go get her, some fruits and berries, some milk, some eggs, some bread. And they calling her a hooker and stuff all up in the store. Sookie's boss, because his wife is Felicia, is about to fire her. She's talking a whole bunch of shit because she's so obsessed over the house, over him, and the fact that like it's very clear all of them got a ting going on, and she's a little obsessed over it or whatever, talking all kinds of crazy. And also I think Daryl also ends up getting sued for $2 million. I can't remember what it was. It's something. in regards to what Daryl has going on. They done found some loophole swinging away to sue him for something, child. So with all that being said, they all sitting at the table eating cherries, and they decided Felicia's a motherfucking problem because she run her goddamn mouth too much and she fucking with us. Daryl owes money probably, and we all getting talked about around the town. Alexandra's the only person who not really getting talked about. She just kind of don't like the rumors going around or whatever, but it's not like affecting her life. And anyway, in either way, it doesn't seem as if it was like, it didn't show that it was affecting her in any other way than being involved in gossip. So, with that being said, Daryl's like, y'all want to get rid of her? Y'all tired of Felicia? Because I'm tired of Felicia too. Have a cherry. Now, with the whole have a cherry thing, I'm envisioning the scene in my head. It's funny, but it's not fucking funny. Felicia is losing her mind. She is losing her mind in that house and throwing up and, going in on like a tangent. I think it's like almost damn near like she's almost going to like a psychosis or whatever. And she comes up with what she was like, right? He's like demonic or whatever. He's just trying to spread his seed and he wants to have more sons or whatever. And her husband's like, I can't hear nothing you fucking say. He can hear her, but he's like, I don't hear a motherfucking thing you saying. I don't hear nothing you saying. What are you even saying right now? And she starts throwing up cherry picks. And he's like, what did you eat? You was with her all day. You know damn well she ain't eat no damn cherries. She is having a spiritual, crazy attack going on right now in front of him. And he said, that's it for tonight. I'm about ready for things to go back normal. And he puts her to a permanent nap. I'm staying at the hotel tonight. How about you take another ER visit, like right now? I'm gonna go for a walk. No. Permanent nap. And he go back to reading his paper and go to jail in the morning. After they have their powwow, and after they have their powwow, it leads to them finding out that Felicia has moved on to yonder. The three women decide, I think this is too far. This is, quite coincidental again, how we are talking about something and it happens. And this time leading to someone going on to yonder. So we're just gonna separate and have some space in between us. And then they start arguing. And the concrete kind of shoots up. You know what I love is how no one really says the W word, witch, but it's kind of like incentivized or like, kind of like, a thing, but ain't nobody saying nothing really about it. I thought that was really masterful. Anyway, they all decide, we done. Cut it. This is it. No more talking. Daryl's not happy. Daryl don't like that. What's wrong with y'all? I gave y'all everything. You know? So he's calling, sending flowers, sending musical notes to these women, calling, trying to figure out why nobody want to talk to me. We had a good thing going. We had a real good thing going. Why ain't anybody talking to me? He finally get a hold of Alexandria. And Alexandria's like, Daryl, somebody died after we were talking about them, like, going on to yonder. Why can't you understand or get what's going on? You know, what don't you understand? And he's like, people die. What do you want me to do about it? What do you want me to say? What do you want me to, what? Ain't got nothing to do with me and us and what we got going on. Bring your ass right down here. And she's like, no, Daryl. That's it. We're done. He said, okay, well, I'll talk to you later. And he said, I think, wait, hold on. Jane feels sick and goes to the hospital and finds out that she's pregnant. And then she's so happy that she's pregnant that she forgot that somebody had passed away and she ain't cared nothing about that because she about to have a baby. And she immediately goes to her baby father, Daryl, to tell him we about to have a baby. And when she do that, she tried to sneak up on him. He already kind of looked kind of way. He looked crazy, you know. She sees that he's going to like suck the energy out of some fruit because he was looking at the video where they were all talking about what they were scared of or what makes them feel sad or what they're afraid of or whatever. And James was withering away and turning into an old hag. And he didn't, you know, I guess like the fruit was a representative of them, which I'm pretty sure somebody could break that down. The fruit, the live, viable fruit, being a resemblance of the women. He sucked the energy out of the fruit, and the same thing happened to Jane. And Jane was like, oh, let me get the fuck out of here because there's something else going on here that I wasn't really too privy of, okay? And she runs to Alexandria. Alexandria at the same time has snakes in her bed, and he sends snakes to her, and then he over there torturing and biting on the fruit, and Sookie's in pain and she gotta go to the hospital because he sent a bunch of pain to her. They all get to the conclusion that, oh, Daryl kind of mad, like the kind of mad ex that's different. He a different kind of mad, like ex-boyfriend. He not the same kind of like mad ex-boyfriend, you know. So we got to go down there and talk to them, figure out what the hell going on. When Alexandra goes down there to go talk to Daryl and figure out, hey, can you stop what the hell you're doing? Sookie about to pass on. God damn it, what the hell going on? So my camera died. I believe I know where I left off because the show must go on, honey. So I moved on to a different device to finish this off because we ain't got too much longer. But anyway, Alexandra goes to confront Daryl and is like, girl, what you got going on? Like, what you doing to Sookie? Because she about to pass on yonder. And we want to know, why won't you stop? We just want to, you know, be done with this because people is horrible things is happening. People getting hurt, you know, and now you doing it us. What can we do to stop this? And Daryl says, you can't win. You might as well come on back. After he throw a whole tantrum. He say a whole lot of hoopla. You know, he say a whole lot of hoopla. He says a lot. I ain't about to get into all of that. But he throw a tantrum and he say, I want somebody to take care of me. And why won't you bring your asses back the fuck down here and take care of me? I done gave y'all everything that y'all goddamn wanted. And I want some... God damn it. That's what I want. So he said, okay, Dad, we'll come on back. And we're so sorry. We ain't mean it. We don't come on back. And so the pain stops with Sookie. No more snakes for Alexandria. And Jane is no longer withering away. I forgot what happened to him. Yeah, he made people try to make her old. And they give him the night of his life. You know, he's like, finally, shit. Things acting the way it's supposed to be. Things are moving back on the way I needed to go. They sent him into town for some ice creams and some bagels. And they proceed to make a voodoo doll of that man and turn him every which way but loose. You know? I thought this was an amazing plot. Turned him every which way but loose. They done made like I said, a little wax doll of him, and him flying around everywhere, put feathers on the man, and had him running into the church, talking crazy again, and throwing up Cher. Now everybody in that church had that man rolling up in there, looking and talking crazy and throwing up cherries. I'm trying to figure out why the people in the back ain't decide look like the sermon over today. The moment he start throwing up all that shit. Because the moment you come up into the church with all that yip mouth and throwing up some ungodly stuff out of your mouth and physically throwing up, it looked like the devil done came in here. So clearly ain't no sermon today. But they all sat there like sitting ducks. And proceeded to listen to him talk his hoop louder. I guess that means that everybody's bored in that damn town. Must mean so. Anyway, he made his way on back down to the house to whoop their ass because he's trying to figure out what the fuck happened. They clean up everything. They go back into the TV room where I guess, you know, they go and commune or whatever in the house. And they decide to, you know, act like they was just, everything was normal, like they didn't do nothing. And he ain't buying it. He take off on a behind to, you know, he wants to get his get back. So he ends up making them fly all over the room or all over the house. He got furniture moving in that place. Furniture moving in the place, you know, stuff slishing and sloshing and falling and tishing and toshing and stuff, and Jane almost fall to her untimely demise. And they tell her to laugh. They start laughing and she floats and she does not pass away. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. They end up running into the kitchen where the doll is to see if they can like fight against him with the doll. And Sookie and Alexandria is trying to hold the door to hold him from getting into where they are. And Jane pissed me off and act like she's just so helpless. And it fell. And then he turned into a bigger creature in the backyard trying to come in through the window. They burn it on accident, I believe it was. And then he turned into nothing, okay? Last scene. This man then got all of them pregnant with boys. I want nothing to do with it. Not them babies. Because if you think Daryl turns you any which way but loose, what you think them kids gonna do? I'm happy they got each other to go through this whole parenting thing with them children, because if you think you had a problem with Daryl, them kids gonna push you through some more. Beautiful, lovely little babies. But when they become teenagers, they're gonna push you through what I call what for. Yeah. Anyway, Daryl is somehow, I guess, like in another dimension or is locked down. I could think they done found a way to find him. And Jane is still missing him. She want her man back, but she can't have him back. Or I guess she can, but they all are in agreement. He gotta stay where he at. So there's the movie. I really hope you enjoyed this review, my little somewhat comical review over the events that took place. And if you like this, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'm going to keep it rolling. I do book reviews, and sometimes I may do a show. Maybe I won't. But definitely some my book reviews and movie reviews coming. I hope you enjoyed this. Until next time, see you later.